small and very feisty. This little thing just loves to shred. Welcome to episode number 3, where today we're going to check out this SLAMS JEM, and obviously we're going to fire it up, see how it sounds, and go through some of the stories about how I acquired this guitar, how it was made, and how it went really downhill, but then got brought back to life by the LA custom shop. Before we get started today, let me tell you about my amazing new app that I've just launched. It's called Scale Finder. Scale Finder has over 200 arpeggios and scales, covering everything from your basic C major scale right through to your insane shred 3-octave arpeggios. A lot of the scales and arpeggios also have my specific fingering included, which is really cool. So if you find that you're playing in one position all the time and you're just not able to explore the neck and treat that neck like it's your playground, then check out the Scale Finder app. Link for Android and iOS is down below. But for now, let's fire up this SLAMS JEM and see what it's all about. I was given this custom SLAMS JEM from Ibanez in the early 90s. In fact, yeah, right there, 91. So I guess it probably made its way over to the UK pretty shortly after that. Now, the first thing that you'll notice about this guitar is it's actually a little bit smaller, which is really cool because when you sit and play it, even in the classical position, it is really comfortable to play because of that smaller body. Really nice. I kind of wonder what a full-scale production run would be like with this size body, be it a JEM or an RG. It might be pretty cool. What do you guys think? Let me unplug and I'll show you what's going down on this guitar. When I was a kid, I was a huge wrestling fan back when it was WWF. So the guys at Ibanez were only too happy to have me slamming the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, I think this is probably the only time that I would actually be able to slam the Ultimate Warrior. You can see as I get closer to the camera, that smaller body really does come into play. I think that's a really cool size. I was always a huge fan of Super Mario Brothers as well. So here we have Mario down here doing his thing and Luigi up here chilling. And some other cool little details that you'll notice is right here we've got Vi in the audience throwing his JEM around like a wild man. We've got some of the Simpsons characters and ZZ Top. There's a ZZ Top, guys, right there. So some pretty cool details going on. Another game that I was really into back in the day is Mega Man. Do you guys remember that? So many difficult levels, so many infuriating moments playing that game, but a lot of fun. Now, obviously that is inspired by the Mega Man graphics, but unfortunately somewhere along the way I did lose the back plate. Maybe that went on a different guitar and then somebody nabbed it. But it still looks pretty damn cool. When I first received this guitar, it had the original Edge Pro that you would see on pretty much all the JEMs back then. But a couple of years back, I actually had to get this restored, well, the entire guitar restored, so I'll tell you about that. But whilst I did that, I took the opportunity to ask Ibanez to fit this low pro style trem. I prefer this bridge because a lot of the time when I do flutters, I tend to hit the note and in one motion I go from the strings to the bridge. And a lot of the time I find with the original edges, when I do that, I kind of ding right into the trem and it gets a little bit painful after a while. And also I find that I can just get my hand in a more comfortable position for picking on the low bridge, the flatter bridge rather, compared to the original style. So this guitar does not have the original neck. Back when I first received this, I'm pretty sure it was a floral gem. And I even have a slight suspicion that the neck that is on this floral gem is actually the original neck to the SLAM gem. I'm like 75%. I need to find some evidence and some proof of the early days of receiving this guitar, but I've got a suspicion that the neck that is on that floral gem is the original neck that was on this guitar. But unfortunately, it wasn't just the neck that got sacrificed on this guitar. Over the years, the trem went missing, the pickup selector was all smashed out of it, the tone and volume pots were completely sheared off, and all the electrics were absolutely gutted from this guitar. The pickups were left in the body, but there wasn't really much else. So a couple of years ago, I got to visit the awesome guys at the Ibanez LA Custom Shop. Now at that point, there wasn't a great deal that they could do because, you know, the neck plates were totally different on these style guitars to newer style of guitars. A very different sort of fixture and stuff like that. And they just didn't have necks that would fit this guitar. So I had some awesome hangs, some chills, got some other spare parts that were required for other guitars, and I left this body with them for some time. Fast forward a year later, and I'd received a really cool email saying they'd found a 90s RG neck in Japan, and that they were going to fly it over to the LA Custom Shop and have this guitar restored and rebuilt. And I was really excited by all this and incredibly grateful that Ibanez would take the time and care and attention to build this guitar back up to its former glory. And I think it's safe to say that they did a great job in doing that. When this neck plate was off, we saw the name Mace was under there. So this guitar was probably built by the legendary Mace. I think he's like an Ibanez legend really, as far as I can gather. And this here is probably the guy that was responsible for this awesome finish. But if you guys could confirm that, that would be really, really cool. I've loved kind of getting additional information about all these guitars, even though we're just 3 guitars in so far. All the comments about the previous guitars has really helped me to piece all these stories and guitars together. When I was at the LA Custom Shop, it was also discovered that this guitar was just a full-size JEM body, and the top and bottom had just been shaved in to make it a little bit smaller. So it wasn't kind of built from scratch, it was literally just a modded JEM and then obviously lacquered and painted over the top to give it the final finish. But I thought that was pretty interesting that they would just take a JEM body and just shave it down. They actually suspect this guitar is actually a floral gem at heart as well. Now if that's the case, that would be just absolutely crazy because the first video was a floral gem. The second video, well, you know how that turned out, right? And if this one also turns out to be a floral gem, that'll just be like, what? That'll be crazy. So this guitar fortunately hasn't got that many dings and bashes on it. You can see right there I've got kind of a little bit of a chip happening, but it's not probably enough to reveal an actual floral gem. I'm not in the mood like I was back in the day to start cranking into my guitars and throwing them around and go absolutely crazy. I treasure these guitars a lot more now. So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna find out if it is indeed a floral gem underneath. They suspect it is. I don't know, maybe they have that intel. Who knows? Well guys, I think that about wraps it up for episode 3. Do please keep those comments coming if you have any idea, who Mace is, who this guy is. Could this be a floral gem underneath? Let me know. All the information that you guys have been chucking into those comments really does help me out. And speaking of helping me out, if you could take a second to do your biggest shred lick right on top of that subscribe button, and also drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, that would be awesome. Until next time, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.